All right. Hello, hello. It is time for a weekly live. Well, I want to say a weekly live, but I apologize because I did not go live last week. We had some really unfortunate health stuff hitting our household, so I was not live. But I did get a chance to message some of you all in the group and hear about your progress and your results. And I just want to say that from the people who I talked with, we have had some amazing results. So I heard from someone a few days ago, and she lost 6 pounds and inches. She lost 3 inches from her chest, 5 inches from her hips, and 2 from her thigh, which is absolutely incredible. Congratulations. I think that's so wonderful. This morning I was talking with another member, and she lost 11 pounds. 11 pounds this month. So she started a little ahead of time, but in the past 3 weeks, she's lost 5, which is, again, just so fantastic. Really, ideally, you were looking for a weight loss from about 1 to 2 pounds is totally normal, healthy, safe. I know that we get kind of hooked on hearing people's results like, oh, I lost 10 pounds in 2 weeks. For most people, that's not realistic. And it's also typically, it's not actual weight. It's a lot of inflammation. It's a lot of water when you hear that someone's losing 10 pounds. So even if it feels like 6 pounds is really far from your goal, you've lost weight and it's just wonderful. So I think you should really celebrate the achievements and accomplishments you've had. So today we're going to do an Ask Me Anything. I did get some questions through the chat, and so we'll cover those today. I also want to give you a little update on what I have been up to and how you'll see me showing up on social media, and a little bit of background about getting asked recently if I am still pregnant. So that was an interesting conversation. So actually, let's start there because I want this to be a really productive and positive moment. I also want you to see the humanity. So I don't share a ton on social media. Maybe I should. As a business owner, I probably should. But I haven't chosen to really go that route and put myself out there in my fitness, my health journey. Partly that was like, because I felt before that, oftentimes when we see someone who is fit and in shape, we don't know their whole story. We just assume that it's been easy for them. And I, don't really like to talk about myself, but I've had 3 babies. I have had weight gain, weight loss, weight gain, weight loss. And now my weight is up. My weight is up really 30 pounds from where I normally am. And that's okay because I just had a baby. But I went back to the gym recently, and it's been definitely baby number 3 for all you mamas who have more than a couple of kids. I mean, any kids, but more than 2. This 3rd baby has been a challenge. It's not like I can just go and pick up the carrier and go to the gym anymore, or even take one with coloring books and have the other one. It's like 3 kids. I don't have that many eyes. It's been really much more difficult than it has in the past. So with all of that said, I haven't been back to the gym, and I was struggling because I felt like I needed to use the fitness equipment that I have in my house. You see right here that I've been using. And I have a whole gym equipment set up outside, and I just don't like working out by myself. So I finally decided that I was going to go back to the gym. And when I was there, someone asked me, "Oh, are you pregnant?" And they didn't know that I've had a baby. So I had been asked that question, and I can understand why it would have really, really upset someone, especially if it is difficult to get yourself into the gym to begin with. So to have been asked that question when I'm just heading back and when it's literally my first workout back was really tough. So anyway, I'm going to keep going, right? But I'm trying to pay attention to what that struggle is like, because I think it's important that I understand the perspective of my clients and what my patients deal with, and also to share that too, right? Because what you're dealing with, you're not alone. What I'm dealing with, I'm not alone. I have to find that community, that support with one another. And yes, I'll be sharing more of that on social media. So I guess if you're interested in following me, you can follow me on Instagram for now, or Facebook. And we'll just kind of see what happens with that. So I am on my journey to lose this last amount of baby weight. Quite honestly, I'm 40 and I know that this is my last one. So I I'm kind of happy to know that I don't have to do it again because it's a lot of work. So if you're working to lose weight, it's not an easy thing. It's definitely intensive. And yeah, that's all I'm going to share. I'll share the rest online and you'll see the struggle there. So a couple questions that we are going to talk about today related to body image and femininity. Feminineness. Yes. Why does that sound so weird? And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how to determine your ideal body composition. Or if you're looking to lose weight, how do you know how much weight you really need to lose? I would argue that looking at the BMI chart, which is, I remember myself doing decades ago to figure out what I needed to be at ideally, was not actually a healthy body weight for me. And so part of this is actually just figuring out what a healthy body weight is for you, because you are different than the female next to you. Okay. So at 5'2", my body composition at 130 pounds, I was thrilled with. I don't need a six pack. I don't want to eat in the way that it is required to have a six pack. So I always talk with clients, like, it depends on what you're looking for. How do we determine our ideal body composition? So if you really want to have a six pack and you maybe want to have the goal of walking across stage in like a physique show, that takes an intensity, manner of eating and training that honestly, those people who you see in that shape, they don't do that all year round. They don't even do that long term. And I actually have had a number of clients who have been old fitness competitors, right? So they've gotten to that body composition and they have gained weight or regained weight and they found themselves as clients of mine trying to lose weight despite having achieved that in the past. So for me, as a nurse practitioner, as a healthcare provider, I want people to have sustainable results. I don't want them to yo-yo. Actually, yo-yoing is really bad for you. Your metabolism, your body doesn't like it. It's not good to put that type of stress on your body. I know I'll get a lot of flack from fitness competitors, but I've seen the effects. So I guess I'm willing to take that. But your body doesn't like losing lots of weight and then regaining that same weight. So for me, my opinion is that it is best for you to get to a body composition that you feel confident in. You can move and do the activities that you want to do, that you are having the, results on your labs that suggest that you have a healthy metabolism. Recent research said that only about 11% of the population is metabolically fit. And so most of us do not have those laboratory markers. That means your cholesterol is within an acceptable level, that your blood sugar and your hormones are within a certain an acceptable measure as well. And you can talk with a functional medicine practitioner. If you're here in Arizona, I'm happy to talk with you about your results and see what a healthy result would be for you. Let's see. So metabolic fitness, a body composition that you enjoy. Those are two areas where you'd want to make sure to figure out what body composition should you be at. And then the next question that we'll talk about too is about femininity. I don't know why that's so hard for me to say. So some women feel like if they're going to lift weights or if they are going to be physically fit, that they will have a masculine appearance. I completely disagree. I like the way that fit and strong looks. I mean, this doesn't have to be like a strongman competitor. You don't even have to be an Olympic lifter. But I think that the women I'm seeing on the CrossFit Games, I think that they're beautiful. I think that they're strong. And so we have to start changing our opinion and our idea of what is beautiful. And that starts with what we experience. So I think it's really important that we take a look at our social media feeds. It's important that we look at the types of magazines that we're watching, the types of content that we're consuming online. And if we're looking at Kardashians, I don't know, our idea of beauty is going to be vastly different. So when I open my social media and I scroll, I see women who are extremely fit and they're athletic. And that is my idea of beauty. And that's something that I aspire to, is not necessarily that leanness, although it happens when we're active. But I aspire to that the strength, the ability to move my body, to lift heavy stuff, to be physically fit. And so I really think that it's important for us to just really think about what we're consuming, because that will help our brains to understand that as we change our body composition and as we start to see things like our shoulders and our biceps, that's just, I don't know, I didn't feel like my clothes fit better when I can see those areas. And so I would encourage you to just take a look at that. But as far as body composition goes, you do not, in the early portion of training or being physically active, have to think about what your body composition is. Really, for the most part, unless you're in severe calorie deficits, like you're eating at 800 or 1200 calories, you are going to lose not just fat, you're going to lose your lean tissue mass. And so it's important for you to pay attention to how you're training, and also not under eating, right? And so that's a really important factor. And I would say that oftentimes that's the biggest problem. And so the next question that I have was around intermittent fasting. Should I be doing it, and will it help me? And intermittent fasting has a lot of great research to support it. But the application for most people who are just picking up intermittent fasting and using it is where we go wrong. So intermittent fasting is excellent. It helps with our blood sugar and hormone regulation. But typically what I see is women are using it as a way to restrict calories. So for example, I have a client come to me and they are not eating. They're doing like a 16-hour fast, and not eating all day. And then when they finally do end up eating in the afternoon, they're not eating foods that actually support their health, support their metabolism, support their blood sugar. So if you're hungry and starving all day and you finally eat and you break your fast with, the leftover potato chips that you're packing for the kids' lunches, or some candy that was left out from the holidays, you're going to crave more unhealthy food, and it's also not going to result in the weight loss. So these clients typically have excess body fat around their waist. They have a difficult time losing weight despite their calorie restriction. And they have intense cravings too. They usually are fatigued and they have difficulty with their mood. So if that sounds like you, or if you're going through periods where you're restricting heavily, and then you eat and you can't control your cravings, it might have something to do with the fasting. And in that case, usually my clients will eat more over the course of the day as we get them to a baseline calorically and also from a macros perspective before we start to modify the nutrition goals, if that makes sense. So it's really about give your body what you need so that it can support you through all of the cellular processes and cellular functions. And then we, once it's happy and feels like it's being fed, then we can oftentimes implement some fasting windows or some calorie deficits. But until then, honestly, it can do some damage. So you may want to have some support with that if you've tried intermittent fasting and you haven't had results. All right, let's see. What other questions? Are you watching today and you have any questions, feel free to put those in the chat, and with your name, because I'm on a streaming app and I can't see who is posting it. Let's see. So for the accountability updates in the group, if you haven't posted yet, try posting your results. Share a little bit about what you've been working through, what you've been struggling with. It's definitely helpful for the other group members who are active inside of the group. It's a great way to build community and to support one another. So put those results in. You're going to see hi, Lisa. It's good to see you. And yes, definitely watch from the beginning. Some good details from today's short little video. So I will share more about my journey in weight loss and in fitness inside of Instagram, but you will see what it's like for me to lose weight. I am not necessarily just like you. There are factors that I'll discuss and what makes, what supports my weight loss and how you can modify your own to get to your goals. Just remember that we're all on the same journey together. All right. It was great talking with you today. Send me a PM if you have questions. If you want to see your questions answered inside of the Ask Me Anything, we will do this again next week. Have a great week, and I'll talk with you soon.